scared because I got a couple men right here. How's it going? How you doing, officer? How you
They
doing?
look like they want to crack somebody's head.
I'm Sergeant Compton.
Nice to meet you, Sergeant Compton.
Nice to meet you. And you are?
I'm a nobody. Just refer to me as nobody.
Nobody?
Yes.
Okay. Nobody, what's going on today?
Okay, so I was traveling as I always do. I have never had a problem here on the land of Colorado Springs for at least a year until these law enforcement decided to get behind me and stop me. I didn't create any loss, injury, or harm to people, places, or things, or any property. So I have no reason to be messed with. My property.
A loss in that you have not registered your vehicle.
Okay.
To be able to drive, to pay for your right to travel on the streets.
Okay, now
so
when you say, so when you have to pay to get a license, we have to pay to get tags and stickers, you're submitting to their jurisdiction and you're giving away your rights for benefits and privileges. I'm not doing that.
You're paying for those benefits and privileges.
Yes, and I don't want benefits and privileges. I want my rights.
But you are using those benefits and privileges in driving on the roadways.
Okay, the benefits or privileges are mainly for people who create money on the roadways, as in bus driver, taxi driver, truck driver, trailer driver. I'm not any of those things. I do not create my money on the roadways, which means I'm not required to have license, registration, or any of this stuff that pulls me into your jurisdiction.
Colorado says that you are required to have those things.
The state of Colorado.
If you drive on the roadways owned by the state of Colorado, you are required to have a driver's license, to have a registration, and to have proof of insurance.
Okay.
If you do not have those things.
Requirement isn't a law.
Give up those rights and privileges to drive on these roadways.
Okay, so let me clarify again. When I go and sign the contract for my license and sign the contract for the tags of the property, I'm signing away the property and my rights away to the state. Now I'm giving them jurisdiction, yes. So now I'm getting jurisdiction for these men over here to come and tell me and charge me for whatever the heck they want, and I have to follow it because I gave y'all jurisdiction. You don't have jurisdiction over me. I am on my private property, going to my private location. Okay, I stopped on private property because I know right here I'm protected compared to over there.
You are not on private property. You are on public property. So,
I just want to ask, are y'all gonna make it so much of a problem? Y'all gonna like tear me out of my property? Are y'all gonna steal my property? Are y'all gonna throw me in the box? Are y'all gonna destroy my day and ruin my life just for me wanting to exercise my rights and travel freely? Are y'all gonna really do that? I'm being honest and sincere. Are you gonna do that?
What we know right now, we have traffic. So for right now, all we have is traffic charges, which means you're going to get a ticket. That's it. I'm not going to throw you in a box for anything like that. For anything that's going on so far, we're not going to throw you anywhere. We're not going to take you anywhere. We're going to cite you. And then you'll have the options given to you by the state of Colorado.
Take the fucking ticket, go, and never come back.
And that's the thing.
Privileges and rights given to you by the state
okay,
of Colorado.
Now I appreciate you. You're more calming. You're more you have a more honest look to you compared to these men. I'm trying to tell them that, as you say, rights is completely different to privileges. Rights is not given by nobody. It's unalienable, God-given rights. You cannot say the founders of this nation wrote down the Constitution.
I'm not worried about the founders of the nation.
Okay, well, the people who stood up to
Colorado owns this property, and it is a privilege given by them for you to drive on them. But given that privilege, there are requirements.
Okay, now that I'd agree with you.
Slaves are given privileges.
Now
driver's license, registration, proof of insurance.
Now I'd agree with you as far as when you say in Colorado the state of Colorado. I live on the land of Colorado. Okay, I'm not in the jurisdiction. I understand this is a confusing word salad, word toss game, but I'm trying to articulate myself to the best of my abilities so y'all can fully grasp my understanding that as long as I'm not creating.
We understand what's going on, but you need to understand that we need those documents.
Oh, okay. And
for that privilege, we need those documents so we can finish.
We need your
now, let me go ahead
papers.
and let you know, you need the documents in order to write me up and sentence me to a charge. A charge is a lien. I don't want y'all to put a lien against my quote unquote estate. I don't want you.
Those charges are not against you until you either pay that fine or go to court and a judge decides.
The charges are against me once I decide to willingly give you my information. That's why I'm not willing to give you my information. I'm not willing to hand you anything that you will use against me in the court of law. I know that it's going to come back to bite me if I end up deciding to willingly or just still coerced because I'm in fear to give you my information. I don't want to. I don't want to cause a problem. I'm not here trying to make a problem out of y'all. I don't want to waste your day, but I don't want y'all to waste my day either.
Don't give us that information. And we need that information. We're going to end it there. We need that information. Okay? We need those documents. Like I said, that is for the privilege of driving on property owned by the state of Colorado.
Okay, now I
need those.
Now I understand you said privilege. Officer, I'm trying to let you know this is not a privilege. To me, I know I have a right. A right, which means you cannot take it away from me. The state cannot take it away from me. Nobody can take it away from me. No. Then we don't have rights, officer. Then we don't have rights. What is the point of rights then? Then we don't have rights.
Like every other right out there, whether it's driving or anything else, all those rights are in the Constitution. The Constitution of the state of Colorado says if you drive on public property, you are required to have those documents. That's in the Constitution.
Now, you're talking about if I decide to sign away my rights to benefits and privileges. I don't have...
By being here, the state of Colorado has said by being here, you have given us...
by being on the land of Colorado, I've given the state of Colorado jurisdiction. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
So just by me being born, I've lost my rights on Colorado. Oh, you don't lose any rights? No. So do you not believe that we all have the right to life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, and to be able to travel freely without having quote unquote law enforcement or peacekeepers to disturb the peace and mess with people just by them going on their day? Do you truly believe that's real? Especially, officer, ask them. I was not swerving. I was not driving. I was not traveling first. I'm sorry.
You are not driving in a vehicle that's registered, that is required by the state of Colorado. That is what you are doing. The state of Colorado requires that. You're not doing it. That's why we're stopping you. It's just, none of this is going to matter. We need that documentation.
Okay, you need it in order to charge me and put a lien against me. I'm not going to willingly give you something that you will use against me in the court of law. I would rather keep my mouth shut, defend myself.
Beyond that issue of traffic.
Oh, okay, so that's what I'm trying to say. Are you gonna take me out of my property, toss me to the box, ruin my day, ruin my life, all because I just want to exercise my rights? Are y'all really going to do that? Just because I don't want to provide information that I know you're gonna use against me. Are y'all really going to destroy my day like that? Are y'all really going to destroy someone who's a living, breathing man that wants to build and...
that information, we're not going to destroy anything. We're going to give you a ticket, and that's it.
Okay, so if I'm coerced, if I do provide you the information, you will not take me out of my property and toss me in the box. That's what you're saying, right?
So but long as there's nothing beyond
so what if I don't? Are you going to take me out of my property and take me into the box?
Let's not worry about that.
Officer, that's all I worry about.
What did he say right there? When you asked him if you don't give him nothing, what did he say?
Don't worry
I can't
about
hear him.
that. Don't worry about that. That's what he said.
That's what he said. Yeah, I can't hear it. Don't worry about that. Okay, so he's already pretty much saying directly, indirectly, he doesn't believe he has the jurisdiction, because any other time I've seen these interactions, once they believe they have jurisdiction, they say, if you don't give us the stuff, we're going to break the window and reach in there and take you out. I've never seen, an interaction where if they believe they have the cause to do what they want to do, they tell you, don't worry about it, or you can tell by his energy, he's in a defensive position. He's got his hand in his pocket. He's non-committal. He hasn't committed to any forward motion yet of what's going to be done. He, for some reason, doesn't feel like he has the right to move forward, right? So they argue state code. They know what they're trained. But he knows, like I know, like you know, like we all know, that man to man, it's all ridiculous. And that if nothing has gone on, why are we causing harm in order to enforce policy when it's all to generate revenue anyway? It was never for safety. We know that. So again, different folks are going to handle it differently based on their training and their belief about what it all is. This guy seems like he doesn't believe he has the jurisdiction and ability to put hands on you and to require an ID, because there is no crime. It's a traffic offense. And I'm pretty sure traffic offenses have now been made non-arrestable. So he really can't even require ID. They can cite the vehicle, in which case you still have to accept ownership and liability of it. And if no one shows up at court, it just becomes, in my mind, an ambiguous attempt to contract that was never followed through with. So I'm guessing at some point you kind of got afraid and gave him your shit, because Virgil, did you wind up giving him anything?
Yeah, I ended up giving him the straw man name of my expired ID.
Okay. Did you give him a slave date?
I didn't give him. No, I didn't give him. I showed him the ID. That was it. But it was.
Well,
expired.
what was your reason for doing that? If he never said he was going to do anything to you, if you didn't give it to him, what was you?
Well, continue it, because then they end up saying the cop pulls up another one. He got the gloves. He's ready to tear me out. That's why.
Okay, is this the supervisor right here?
Yeah, this is the supervisor, and I got all of their business cards, all three of them.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. Is you got these guys who they pull rank. They don't even. Ultimately, they all can do whatever they want to do. They all have their own officer discretion. The supervisor is essentially there just to supervise whatever each one of them is going to do. In which case, if they do wrong, he's going to be liable for supervising and not stopping them as far as his discretion goes. So, they get calls over the radio. We got a Sam sit down here, thinks he don't need nothing to travel around. Oh, I'm on it. Whoever's in the area, they come streaming down with the gloves on. Where's he at? Let me at him. This is literally what we're dealing with. I've seen it before on the scene where some guy comes screeching up and goes, let me at him. And then the guy on scene goes, bro, get back in the car. We already got this handled. What do you think this is? The Crips? Like we just put out a bulletin and you're just going to show up because we're going to bang on the citizens? It's not what it's about, right? And then they wind up getting into it, fighting, whatever. Then one of them gets suspended because they wind up putting hands on each other. Don't kid yourself. They all don't like themselves or each other and their own friends and their own coworkers in these organizations because they know how fucking pathetic they are and prone to violence and acting out. Yeah.
I just want to add, you got to be careful too that there's always a good cop, bad cop. And I've more so with firefighters. I was in a situation with a place where I was doing horticulture and stuff. But anyway, you'll get a good cop, bad cop. And I'm sure with cops, there'll be a good cop, bad cop where he's going to make you try to say you're the fucking person, right? The good guy, I with you, okay, not everything's going to be okay. And then you'll get the other, I don't know, I'm just saying that you got to watch that fucking shit.
Yeah, but you're talking about an interrogation room. This isn't this is on the side of the road. There's no necessarily that I know of a plan usually with these people of good cop, bad cop. That's more of an interrogation room technique on the side of the road. It's just whoever's going to respond to the call is going to have their own discretion like any other man or woman. And if they've been doing it 20 years, they don't give a fuck about supervisor, this one, that one. All they know is there's a sob sit and they're going to teach them a lesson. And they'll sit there and go, I don't give a fuck about I don't like you, right? They'll say, I don't like you and your people and what you all do, and I'm going to charge you and bring you to jail. And you can tell the judge that I did it. That's their attitude, right? They have no problem using their name and their number to write up them charges and sign as the issuer, essentially. And then because in their world, with a lot of them, they go, what do I give a fuck? I write this shit up all day, every day. And 9 out of 10 times, administrator's going to fuck you. If he doesn't, I never got to deal with you again. What do they care? That's their mentality, right? Their name and reputation doesn't mean anything. That badge doesn't mean anything. Their career doesn't mean anything. They just don't like you because politically they've been taught that you are a threat to America and the law and order. So when they hear you're out there thinking you're special, especially when they think they got to follow it, I've had them tell me, you must be crazy. We got to follow this shit. You think we're going to let you sit out here and do all this when I got license and my nephew got license and we all got it? They take it as a personal thing. They go, if we all got to have it and we're gods, you definitely got to have it. And we're going to teach you a lesson now. I had him tell me, he goes, we're having the card towed just to teach you a lesson. I said, I'm pretty sure that's not how the law works. Pretty sure you just can't maliciously start doing shit because you don't like me and want to make my life more difficult and then admit to it. I go, I'm pretty sure that's not how the law of the land works. There's supposed to be some kind of criteria for this, like impeding the flow of traffic. He goes, no, arrest is supposed to be to teach you a lesson. I go, what? I go, in your mind, this whole process was you making legal determinations on the side of the road that you're my daddy. And you're going to teach me lessons by using the system against me. That's fascinating logic, right? He goes, we're going to tow it, put you in jail for a few days, and it's all to teach you not to do this no more. I go, I don't think you can make those legal determinations on the side of the road. Pretty sure the system is there for certain criteria, and you just way overstepped your bounds because you don't like me. And now you're doing malicious prosecution.
Well, I think a cop that's talking like that, Paul, you're lucky you never got raped in that situation. Holy cow. Like that was just a free-for-all. Fucking.
Yeah, I mean, what I find is usually these people are equally or more scared of me than I am of them. Just because I'm I guess, a pretty large person, and they tend to think that I'm crazy because why else would I be doing whatever I'm doing? So when they get a call and they show up and see me there and I'm big and sort of got a look on my face and, they kind of hear certain things, I guess a little bit intimidating for them. I remember when Loya grabbed me at the courthouse, he was shaking. I go, bro, I ain't shaking. Why are you shaking? He goes, don't talk to me. He wouldn't look at me because I kept looking at him. Right. And I go, Loya, why are you shaking? And he wouldn't look at me. He goes, don't talk to me. I said, you're shook, bro. As he's bringing me in the thing, I go, you fucking shook right now. And you got 2 or 3 other guys with you. I go, what do you think I'm going to do, lawyer? I go, all I'm doing is standing up for our rights that you threw away for a paycheck. I go, you think I'm going to do something? You think I'm running? I go ahead, put me in a box and we'll keep talking. It's just a bunch of fucking nonsense at a certain point. You're going to walk me to the back behind the courthouse to put me in a cell to let me out 3 hours later. I go, are you happy? He goes, yeah, just make sure you show up for your court date. I go, I ain't going nowhere. I ain't showing up for none of it. All right, well, you'll have to deal with that. I said, yeah, you still got to live being you. You still got to be you. I get to go be me and you got to be you. So if you're cool with that, I tell all of them that. You got to show up here for the next 20 fucking years. You're already in prison. You work in a prison every day with a bunch of lowlives. You're already in prison. You're basically doing a prison term, right? You're going to sit here and do another 25 years so you can retire like a slave one day and go off with all the benefits and privileges that you work so hard for, giving your rights away here for a check. I go, I'd much rather be me. I monetize my own slavery. I go, you are creating slavery for a paycheck, and you can't even look me in the eye, right? None of these people can ever look me in the eye. That's how you know when you're in the wrong as a man, when none of them can look you in the eye. Right? I look them right in the eye. You can't get it done. All right? We all know why. Go ahead, expert panel, before I get back to Sean is staring everyone down. They said something happened to you. What was that all about? Did you fake your own death like Tommy? Hello? Okay. You know what? I'm gonna move on. I don't know what he's doing.
You're getting the silent treatment.
Again, we're a year and a half into this. If this kid would just like do something during the day, even a couple hours, like if he would fucking DoorDash, Uber, anything, you know, sell cupcakes with snafu, like do a bake sale. He could have already had a new laptop, a microphone. I can't even hear him. His fucking mic's up all the way. This is every time now, you know, and I kind of like this kid too. But how many times can we do this? You know, like, why are you laughing, Jennifer? This is not funny. She laughs more. Your mic is all the way up, bro. Try it now. Why do you have to have virtual backgrounds too? You have the worst computer ever. It doesn't work properly. It screams like a vacuum cleaner, makes that noise. And you got to have virtual backgrounds to make it run slower, to fuck up the CPU. Hello? Nothing. Okay. I don't hear. Are you even saying anything? How do you know it's not working? Are you? Yeah, I don't even. Your lips aren't moving. Are you doing a ventriloquist? Are you throwing your voice? He's like, I'm pretty sure you didn't even say anything there. Okay.
I think it's possibly
That's my
coyote.
son, Sean Evil. He's like Dr. Evil's son. Remember I showed you that one? Hey, take off your hat, man. If you're not going to come on here with the proper equipment, I got to make you into a bit. So go ahead and take the hat off. You know the rules. I'm going to pull up Sean Evil.
Sean's the guy you could teach him to fish 1,000 times, but you still better prepare a meal for him or he's going to starve.
I need the part where he starts to lose his hair like his father, Dr. Evil. Get the head out, man. See, I'm not looking. Does he have his head out? Fuck, now they don't have it. All right, you know what? Forget it. It never happened. Doesn't exist.
What is that picture? Is that a young him like sticking his finger in Bill Clinton's nose?
Request. And that is
You just don't get it, do you, Sean?
I don't.
Now, evidently, my cycloptic colleague informs me that that can't be done. Can you remind me what I pay you people for? Honestly, throw me a bone here.
Let me see that. Oh, there's the head. But they took the clip, man. They used to have it. When he comes in. What's the guy's name? Scott Evil. That's close to Sean. Scott Evil. I don't know, man. You always gotta grind me to a halt. Showing up source. You got anything? You got anything, Dick?
It's fascinating.
I hate
So he
you.
really can't get his
I
mic
hate
to work,
you.
and he just decided to come up
I don't
and
even know you, but I hate you too. And
I
I
guess
especially hate
derail
you.
the whole broadcast for entertainment purposes.
All right. Let's move forward. That's my protege, Sean Evil. he's working on becoming a broadcaster. Right. Let me go over. What else do I have? Oh yeah, we never finished. It's gonna take me all night to get through this damn Virgil video. This is why I didn't want to do it.
That's all I worry about. As long as I'm not creating.
Information, and we have everything that we need. Driver's license, registration, insurance card. There's nothing beyond this. No, we're not going to. They're going to give you a ticket and you're going to go.
Okay, officer, I just want to
Imagine this guy. It's like this is what his life's become. So he's got to sit here and ask you for these fucking papers over and over again.
We need that documentation.
Well, bro, I mean, could you imagine? Like, this has all been done before. You'll have this jerk off and 5 more of them going, all right, ma'am, just step into the, shower area. We're going to take your gold fillings out of your teeth, and they're just kind of giving you the process and the rundown. Here's the deal. You're going to get in the car. We're going to bring you down to a safety camp. We're We're going to kind of check you for gold fill-ins and take your shoes, and it's going to be a grand old time. You know, and it's somebody's brother, somebody's uncle, somebody's father, and it's just no problem, not a problem. Right this way for another check.
You need.
We're just doing what we're told. They stepped up and said, "We just did what we were told." What's the
I'm not
problem?
required to have a license, registration, or insurance on my private property, so it's
Colorado requires it.
okay. They require it for people who gave up their rights for benefits and privileges. I didn't give up my rights, sir, so I don't need a license. Let alone if I have one, I don't want to give it to you because I know you're going to use it against me. Okay.
You need one because the state of Colorado requires it. Give us one, or it's going to go beyond traffic.
Okay.
We don't want to go beyond.
It's going to go beyond traffic. What does that mean, officer? Please
beyond
clarify.
traffic.
Clarify. What does that mean to me? Are you going to take me out the car? Are you going to throw me in jail? Are you going to take and steal my property? What does that mean? Please clarify.
You are going to be removed from the car.
Oh, so okay. So now at the end of the day, you lied. You said you were not going to.
If you don't give us that documentation, if you don't give us that, you are going to be removed for the car.
Okay, so the truth came out.
You won't give us the documentation that is required. By
Show the papers you get in the boxcar.
By the state of Colorado.
Yep,
That documentation.
that's what's gonna happen. I ain't got time to sit around here. I got other shit to do back at the station.
Okay, so I just want. Okay,
I got a
so
football pool I'm
I get what you're
involved in.
saying. So let me
Fantasy
just
football.
clarify. Let
I
me
think
make
I'm
sure
going to win
clarify.
this month.
So me
Playing with
standing
this
up for my
kid.
rights means you're gonna take me out of my car, impound my property,
Nobody's
take
saying
me to
anything
jail.
about that.
Okay, so then
Says
what?
You're going to be removed from the car.
Okay, so then if I get removed from the car, what happens?
Oh,
then?
there's a guy coming with gloves now.
Officer's putting on the gloves. I just want to let you know, if you are gonna come to
Yeah,
that,
we're giving free prostate
be
exams out here for safety.
I will forcibly get out. But I'm trying to let y'all know it's not willing, because y'all are forcing me to give up my rights. You are forcing me. You're the ones.
That's an argument.
Y'all are the man. Y'all are the man. Y'all are bigger than me. Y'all are stronger than me. Okay, y'all know that y'all can handle me. Y'all have nothing to worry about me. Okay, I'm just a regular man just trying to do his thing, and you're gonna destroy my life today just because I'm just trying to infringe.
Just regular law enforcement.
I wonder if he got all his treatments like a good slave.
Okay, now do you truly believe their laws or their statutes, policies, and codes?
Give us that. Are you going to give us the information?
Okay, no. I just want to make sure, because you didn't answer me. If you take me out of my property, what goes from there?
I don't know.
What goes from there, officer? Because he's ready. He's ready. He has his gloves.
Okay, I have gloves too.
Okay, so when you take me out, what happens from there?
I don't know.
Are you gonna take me to jail?
Once we find out who you are.
He doesn't know. I don't know. None of us know why we're here. What's going on? It's, again, they're doing theatrics, right? And now Hard Hat's kind of correct, where he's not making any clear claims of what's going to happen. They're just using ambiguous fear. And the guy putting on the gloves, he's never told him to arrest you. He's never told you you're going to be under arrest, that I heard. He did at one point kind of say, if you don't give us the documents, but then he never really told you what was going to happen. He just said he doesn't know what's going to happen. So this is just kind of bizarre. I don't think any of them really know the law or what's supposed to happen. I think they know how they're trained. And when it doesn't go the way they're trained, they don't know what to do and what to say. It's all just a bunch of fucking nonsense.
And there's nothing beyond traffic. You're going to get a ticket and we're going to leave.
Okay, so at the end of the day, all I need to provide you is my strawman name then. Okay, I'm not willing to provide any of that except my strawman name so you can see my background. How about that? Because you're making me have to do this. I don't want to. You're making me.
I got a quick clarifying question. By strawman name, do you mean some type of an identification card that was issued by?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, nothing can stop you from just providing a first and last name and then a date of birth registration, which is going to be different from the day you were born. And when they write up that paperwork and it goes to court, it seems like it's you, but it's not you. You know,
Hey, Paul.
because they got a day you were born and they call that your birth date. Then they got a day you were registered and they call that your birth registration date. I call the first day the day you were born. I call the second day the birth date. I don't mind giving them the birth date. You want the date of the quote unquote person when it was registered? You can have that, but I'm not giving you the day I was born. That makes me the surety and the liability for that person. And if you take the birth registration date with that name and you go to put it in for the bond, it's not going to match up because one is tied to the other. The born date is tied to the birth registration person. Go ahead, sir. You know why? Because everyone filled their fucking paperwork out wrong and you attached your body to that person. So in their paperwork, right, in their system, your born date is your birth date and your first and last name is the body because you didn't fill out your paperwork properly. So if you create the line of distinction, and then I was clear with the guy last time, I said, you know, I'm going to give you a birth registration date, right? He goes, okay, give it to me. He puts it in. He goes, nothing came up. He said, you sure you ain't lying to me? I said, no, I asked him twice. I said, you want my birth registration date, right? He goes, yeah. Well, this is it. So when nothing comes back, that ain't my problem, bro. It's expressed, not implied. I didn't lie to you. I told you what I'm going to give you twice, and you said okay. And when nothing comes back and you can't generate the bond, not my fucking problem because you were all mistrained, right? So I ain't giving you my born date. I'll give you my birth registration date. If you can't figure out how to generate a bond with that with the courts and on your fucking NiGHT system, not my problem. You were saying, sir?
I just wanted to add, Paul, this is kind of another angle that I've been going through the last couple of years. But basically, in this situation, I act as my hard hat. I act as his authorized representative of this fiction, right? So when they're saying, are you this person? I'm like, no, I'm not this person. I'm the authorized representative of this person, right? And you're not falling. And so basically that's where you're coming from. And we're this angle is that try to use this system they have in place, which is fucked. But basically saying, yes, guess what? I'm the authorized representative. I'm the highest motherfucking person in this. I'm my own nation in a sense, right? So I'm the authorized representative of this fucking fiction because I can't
That's
be
what
this.
it says on all of the paperwork. And the same thing it says when you get a debit card, because they're going to create a person or put your person on their screen with X amount attached to that all caps name, that person. It's a commercial entity to do the banking business. And when you sign everything that they charge you for, it's going to say authorized representative. It's all the same banking system. The court is part of the banking system. It's all the same idea. The person is there. There's X amount in the account, or you're working on credit. If somebody charges it, it has to be signed for by the authorized representative. If you don't sign, then whoever brought forth the charges is liable for them. So you better go get whoever else it is that keeps trying to charge up this person that I'm the authorized representative for and trying to use fear to get me to sign for it. This is fraudulent contracting they're doing. They're doing forced fraudulent contracting. You can't compel anybody to sign. And then they'll play the game of, oh, it's not an admission of guilt. It's a promise to appear. I'm not promising to appear. I can't appear if I want to. Unless I'm going to get an appearance fee. I can appear as Mick Jagger or something, right? I can appear as Santa Claus at the local mall with the right costume. You know, I can appear to be that, but I can't actually appear as a being and disappear. So unless you mean you want me to come to your venue acting as something else that appears to be that, I ain't showing up. And I'm not signing to create a bond or a contract that says that I promise to appear. Why would I do that? You know, this is what everyone's afraid of. What's going to happen in between? You can't be. They'll put Clayton in jail for 33 days, then go, we don't know why you were here. How'd you get here? He goes, what do you mean? You shouldn't have been here this long. Oh man, let him out. Dismissed. They just dismiss everything. No license. No expired, suspended license. No registration. No insurance. No nothing. Sit for 33 days. They get it back in blood. They pretend it was a clerical error, and they dismiss everything because they know, like I know, they can't do shit about it. if they keep dismissing it and not making people do jail time, they're going to keep doing it more. And that's their way to try to dissuade everyone. Little Masonic ritual. Right? So there's ways like your boy Druka said, however the fuck he calls himself. Right? There's other systems and other ways to get back at you and get at people that aren't official. So yeah, they'll keep you in institution, clerical error, and then at the end, dismiss everything and let you out, but you still had to sit there for 33 days, right? And hey, listen, the other side of that is, like I told him, you're a fucking moron, or you don't really believe in yourself, or you don't ever think that you should have enough of this, right? A lot of people think they should only ever have X amount of this in their life, that they're not fit for anymore, because when they keep you for 33 days and say, we don't know what happened and dismissed everything, you got a big lawsuit now. That's a big bag, right? With any civil rights lawyer. Because they basically invited you to fight and then turn tail and run and show they're dishonorable. They know they can't move the case. So once they throw that out and you had to sit there for that time, you got to pay now. Because no one was found guilty. He sat for 33 days and you dismissed everything. He wasn't guilty of nothing. So what are you going to pay him? It's like a few $100,000 a day or whatever it is, times 30. You know, I forget what the precedent is. Something like maybe somewhere between 30 to 60,000 a day at least. I got to pull it up. I don't want to correct.
There's actually a precedent in Canada with one thing I came up, and it was actually quite a bit per hour. And that's what you say. So you're going to hold me up. This is costing you, right? Because everything is commerce. Everything is commerce. I don't want to contract. I don't want to fucking contract with you. But if you're going to withhold me, everything costs money. And basically, I forget what it was. Someone got jailed for a period of time, and he got a fucking fuckload. But here's the thing. You know what the courts do? They put you're going to say the right word, Paul, but they put a thing on it where they can't talk about it. It's a closed, you can't get the details. Yes. And they do that with all these cases.
Yeah, but that's after the fact, man. If they know they've done wrong and you go to seek remedy, yeah, they're going to give you a bunch of money and tell you not to tell nobody. And like I say, you could sign one of those agreements. You just got to look at the terms like anything else. I always tell the truth, even when I lie. So I'll tell you, I won't speak about the firsthand knowledge of this case, and I'll go right out and talk about it in a third party fashion, right? You can't tell me I can't talk about my life experience as long as I don't disclose firsthand information of the case. You know, specific locations, specific names, specific charges. I just talk indirectly about it. You can't stop me from doing that. Right? Good luck coming to me and telling me I signed an NDA and I broke it because I talked indirectly about a life experience. You can't prove that. I'll just say, I'll just talk in a generalized fashion. So again, who doesn't realize that they're going to work 25 years being a slave anyway? And are they willing to go sit in a concrete summer camp with a TV in the corner for 33 days to get a golden ticket? I mean, if you think about it, right? If every one of them went the way Clayton's went with a suspended license, no less, where you sit, if you're willing to sit and they can't make you budge on what you do, then they got to throw it out and they can't push you. They can't bring it through all the way. Once you have that, it's probably easy to get a civil rights lawyer settle for at least $1 million cash. So would you rather work at a job for 25 years like a slave? Or just embody your rights, sit for 33 days, and then walk away with $1 million? It's a no-brainer to me. If you monetize your own slavery for what's true and what's right, you don't do this to get the bag. You do this because it's true and it's right. When you do what's true and what's right, the universe sets you up for golden tickets somewhere along the way. Then you got to figure out what to do with it.
Paul, I'll tell you, I'd rather be free my whole life than try to get a fucking couple $1 million bag for getting fucked over. But if I got fucked over and I could get that bag, it's fiat fake bullshit anyway. But yeah, I'd rather be left alone. I just want to be left alone. That's all I want.
I get that, right? Bro. Nobody's doing this as a career. My point is they ain't going to leave us alone. So knowing they ain't going to leave us alone, go ahead and fuck with me. I'm going to do what's true and what's right. And if you can't push it through all the way and run the trial without costing yourself a bunch of money or looking like a fool, I'm going to take something from you if I'm able to. I mean, again, I'm so not motivated by money. I got a stack of cases that I could figure out how to litigate and make money from. I just don't care. Like you said, I want to move on with my life. I already have enough. I don't need to go sue them to get what the fuck more of what I need. The other side of it is I'm throwing away golden tickets, right? Because I just don't need more than whatever God provides. And I'm not vengeful and retributive. And once it's done and over, it's done and over. I just kind of move on, you know, but that's not the reality of the system. Until we start checking them and tapping their pockets and making them pay, they're going to keep doing it. So you ain't got to be motivated by money. You just got to understand they are, right? So when it costs them money, they change up what the fuck they do. It's like any organization. Once it start costing them money, they change up what they do. You know, like emailing the CSP. If nothing else, I was costing them money. Because every time the head of CSP had to sit there and read my emails, he's on the clock. It's costing him money. If I send an email to 10 of them and they're sitting there an hour a day reading, I ain't going away, bro. So I'm eating up 10 hours a day of your time between 10 of you. Now they're all talking to each other. Now we got another 30-minute conference. You're all on the clock. It's just one man and I'm eating up all your business and time, just being me. I'm not going away. So at a certain point, they go, how much is this worth? You know, we're losing 8 hours a day combined with 8 people, 1 hour a day each, indefinitely. It's not worth it. They got 99% of slaves who are just going to do whatever they say. And when they get an offer to pay, they're going to take it and run because they think they're getting a way out. You mean I could just give you 500 or 1,000 and have this all go away for now? Yeah. They think that's a bargain, right? Someone like me, they go, it doesn't make any sense. He won't stop. He won't go and do what everyone else does. He's costing us a whole bunch of money. He's giving up his own freedom and time and energy to sit in a box. What are you going to do with me? How are you going to stop me? How are you going to come at it? You know, when you really throw yourself all the way on this and say, let it be damned, they start to see you as a liability for their business and corporation. Because the alternative is, even if you're going to get it done and put me in there, I'm still going to affect everyone in there and I'm still going to be talking to them. And if they get a bug in them to come into court and start with the shit, now they got 10 more people showing up at court running the same shit. They don't want to deal with it. You know? So it's easier for them to have a job where they come to every day where they just stamp, 98%, stamp. See you later. Oh, Joan, we're going to lunch today? Yeah, okay. Hey, Jim, how's the kids? Okay, great. Stamp. That's it. They're just going like the person at the toll booth trying to collect the fucking check. The other side of it is, I believe in my sick mind, as they all say, because I'm so crazy, I believe they love it when someone like me comes in there. Why? Because all day is stamp. They're bored. They're 20 years in. They want the cush job. They want to be able to feel like a leader and have some power, but it's boring. Someone like me comes in, they start remembering why they got in this game to begin with. They start hearing all the shit they heard in college that everyone else has forgot about, right? It almost is like, in a way, fun for them, long as you're not challenging their masculinity and getting too uppity, right? They want a player. They want to play the game. They're bored with every other slave coming in there, stamping and getting represented. You know, that's how I choose to look at it. I choose to look at it like most of these people are players, and they're just on a different side. So when they see another player, they kind of light up a little bit. They go, let's hear what you got. And if you're good at what you do, they respect you. Even if they're going to try to slave you, they still respect you. And more often than not, it seems like they want to give you a pass. Now, Snafu Snaps and all the rest of them, they ain't going to have that response if they go there. But if you're somebody who knows who and what you are and you have some confidence and you can talk a little bit and they feel that energy and that passion, they know you're a real motherfucker, they're going to respect you. They're going to treat you a little bit differently. You know? Because then it starts becoming in their mind, right? Where'd this kid come from? What's his deal? He's highly intelligent. He can rap. Why is he not in a suit being one of our attorneys? Why is he not one of our prosecutors? You don't think in their mind when they go, we've seen this prosecutor come in for the last 10 years. He's comfortable in here and he's bullshit and he ain't that great at it. You come in here going against his bullshit and you're equally as good, if not better. Who are you? Where do you come from? Right? Off the street, stinking like reefer, eyes all red and low. They go, it doesn't make sense. You know, it's all subconscious. They're saying to themselves, why wasn't Paulie Boy in here with a suit really pimping and macking and getting to a big bag? He's so great at it. Doesn't make sense, you know, and then they start to realize what it all really is. You know, I represent the outcast who came back and made it right for myself, and now I'm a force to be reckoned with a bunch of frauds and misleaders. Just one man, you know, and that's how powerful one man could be. And again, like they'll say, I might be a legend in my own mind at this point. I've had to work myself into that position to have confidence to stand in front of these people and try to feel like I'm going to put them in awe in some way. You know, you really have to feel into that sort of I am space, that when you use it and you speak, you have to almost feel like everybody in the room is going to be put in awe and respect of you in that thing. That's how you have to carry yourself as a man with dignity, especially before these court people. I think the more we could get that done, the more the conversation changes. Policy and code in the books is high. I just really believe that. I could be wrong about it all, but there's a human element here. You know, when a motherfucker respects you and knows you know you're right, and you got an energy and a passion behind it, they tend to move different with you, especially if you're not angry and belligerent. I want to believe that, but I guess only time will tell. All right, you got anything before I get back to it? Virgil Creature, how are you feeling, man? Are you worried about court? Are you worried about how did this turn out? I know we're gonna get to it, but they give you some paperwork. They charge you with what? Failure to present all the shit.
Yeah, no, they gave me a ticket, and then all the charges. One was a broken glass window, so it's a liability or a risk, or you know, on the roadway. No insurance, you know, expired, or no fake plates, expired. What's it called? Insurance. I mean, no insurance, and yeah. Let me see. But I didn't sign it. They never made me sign it. They just put it right there where the windshield wiper was, but I never signed it. He signed it himself. I think he put N.A. You know, like I don't know what that means, but
He signed your paperwork, NA?
yeah, N.A. It says right here on the defendant X, and it says N.A.
Non-assumption.
Do you want me to show you it?
Yeah, but well, it could be not applicable, but that's typically a banking signature for not assuming liability. So you got yourself one big loop there of nonsense as far as I'm concerned. You know, first of all, there's an X already on the paper. That means somebody's marked it, even if it's digitally. Second of all, if he went and put pen to that paper and put NA, it looks again, like it's just complete. It's complete insanity. He can't. Again, there's an X there. That's a mark. Somebody already marked it, and it's double marked. He put his pen to paper and signed that. So I don't know what they're up to. I don't know what that's supposed to represent. You didn't agree to present yourself. I wouldn't even show up to any of that. You know, and this is where they're going to say, you're giving him advice. He's going to get warrants and blah, blah, blah. He didn't promise to appear. The man put his mark next to a mark that was already there on the line, and it says non-assumption of the liability, right? So, you know, I don't really know what to tell you. I personally would not show up for any of that nonsense. If anything, I'd send them a certified communication letting them know I do not plan on presenting myself at that venue on that day, just so there's no misunderstandings. There is no jurisdiction. There is no proper contract. If they have any questions for me, they can contact me and I'd give them a number or something else. And if they don't get back to me within 21 days or by the time of that date, I just don't show up. And you can come get me or whatever you want to do, put it over into collections, get your money however you're going to get it. But that's a bunch of fucking nonsense to me. It's not contractually sound. There is no proper process and procedure. They did not attain jurisdiction, and they have no promise to appear. So if you showed up at this point, they start to go, you must be a slave because you didn't sign promise to appear. That man put NA on the line. Even the officer must have not agreed with whatever he was doing. It's like they just go through the motions, and even they know this is all bullshit, right? I had the guy write "Slavid 19" on the signature one time. I go, I don't know what any of this is, but if you think I'm dumb enough to show up to court with a paper in my hand that says you wrote up charges and where I'm supposed to sign to appear, you wrote "Slavid 19," I'm good on that. I don't know what that is. Let Slavid 19 appear. Whoever he just wrote down on that line, you all can appear somewhere and figure all that out. I don't know nothing about it. It's fucking nonsense. The only thing that would get someone to show up for that stupid piece of paper is the fear of what's going to happen if they don't. That's it. Because none of that is proper process or procedure. And I don't see how anybody's going to stand on that at a court. It's laughable. You know, I just hold that up if they drag me and I just start laughing. I go, are you kidding? Like with her, they give her some paperwork. They put white out on it. They didn't even sign it. They go, the guy writes, someone else please sign. So he sends it into the court. The court clerk writes up a separate paper, sends it over and says, you should probably appear. We're going to arrest you. I go, this is the most fraudulent process and procedure I've ever seen. It's completely illegitimate. And just one look at these documents is going to show any administrator these people are not only corrupt, they're completely incompetent. They can't even do fraud properly, right? It's like they're so stupid and power hungry at the same time. They can't even do fraud properly. It's not that difficult. But they can't get it done because they know at this point that it's kind of a failing endeavor. This idea of statute, policy, and code, it's, you know, the cat's out of the bag. And more each day, they're dealing with sovsits who ain't going to listen. And they're tired of doing all the paperwork. They didn't want to do any paperwork to begin with. They're tired of writing all this shit up. And I'm sure the administrators are tired of dealing with it at this point too. So, you know, we're kind of at a flashpoint here.
I worked today. I was talking to my cousins and I told them because they knew something was off with me and they're like, what's wrong? And I'm like, bro, I got a whole bunch of charges that I'm going to have to, you know, see what's good with this bullshit. And they're like, for what? And I ended up telling them what happened. And then when they ended up seeing what I did and everything, like majority of what they're all saying was, you know, just comply, just do what you're supposed to do. You know, one of my cousins was like, I just paid the ticket, you know, no problem. Huh? And the other one is like, just listen to the judge, you know, listen to what they say, you know, because you've never been to court, so you don't want to be there. And then I'm like, what the fuck? Like, all y'all are so scared. And I'm telling them, I know there's a risk that I could get locked up, but I'm willing to do that for like, it's beyond, I'm not even doing it for like success or like anything like that. It's like more of the exploring myself and aspects of me and having self-respect and feeding myself, growing, self-improvement, self-growth, you know, all of that.
Yeah, I mean, some people in this life just want to know. I've always been someone who I just want to know, and there's no way you're ever going to know if you don't take it all the way through yourself. You never really get the chance to know, right? What it all is, how does it work, what's your power and influence, how much choice do you have? They're just okay living their whole life never really knowing, because the alternative is, what are they going to do to me? See, I'm not really about what are you going to do to me. I want to know. I want to know how much power, influence, personal choice, and how much this God's law thing stands in this realm, right? Not only inside of myself, but outside. So, yeah, I'd rather know at least once and for all and have this experience that the rest of them don't want to have. At least it's going to prove something to me. You know, it's going to show me something. So that's authentic experience. That's living a full life. They've never had that. They don't want it. They just want to be kept safe. Right? Just stay safe. Just stay out of the way. Administrator isn't there to tell you what to do. Administrator's there to decide, to interpret the complicated facts of the matter of law. And then there's a jury of your peers, right? So based on you being an administrative side or common law side, again, you know the conflation. They're going to say it's a jury of your peers, but they're going to bring in 12 citizens and voters and TV watchers. So you got so much overlap and conflation of these systems and jurisdictions and what it was all meant to be versus what it's turned into. A lot of them really are just kind of figuring it out as they go. You know, you got a lot of these administrators, they learn this shit all in college. It's kind of been put to the back of their brain, and they get maybe one person every few years or so, or maybe every few months, depending on the volume of the court, who comes in and actually holds them accountable. And depending on the man they are, they either appreciate that shit because they're like me. They go, yeah, we want the challenge. We want a question. We want to figure out how to practice law better. Or they're on an ego trip. Fuck you. Who do you think you are? You're going to come in here and upset this court. I'm going to teach you a lesson about who runs it. You know, so again, it's a dance. It's a courting ritual. You know, there's really no black and white when it comes to this shit. They're supposed to be, but you're dealing with human beings who are fallible and egoic. And they don't like to admit when they're wrong, and they don't like to admit when they've been doing wrong for a long time, and it's just become part of their career. So you got to kind of ride the line of standing for what you believe is true and it's right, and not challenging them in their profession and their masculinity, right? It's just about holding them to what you understand. Hey, you're here today. You under your oath? You know, you obviously, I want to believe are an honorable man. And then you just start kind of taking them through it, what it is that you understand and what their function is supposed to be. And then you start to realize at a certain point, right? Is this person going to be belligerent with me and combative with me because they're an authoritarian fascist? Or are they going to respect and appreciate my fervor for the truth and for upholding the law, right? You would think people in the legal system would respect a man who is young, cares about their country and their land, wants to do what's true and what's right, wants to uphold the law, and is not trying to get away with anything, right? Not on drugs, not riding around drunk, got no real issues on record. So you would think that, dude, what are you doing over there? You doing a Pert Plus commercial or what? Guys, like, maybe it's Maybelline. Every 5 seconds, maybe it's Maybelline.
I'm just trying
Was
to
he
get my
born
hair
with
to look
it?
good on camera. I'm
Were
sorry.
you born with that? Or, yeah, maybe you're fucking, well, let's not get into it, dude. Relax, all right? Now he's laying in the bed. Can't you just fucking go sit down somewhere and look into the camera? You got to be up, down, all around, shaking your hair like you're doing a Baywatch scene. Fucking disconcerting, man. You don't see me talking. Instead of listening to me, you're sitting over there playing with your hair. Been locked up in this fucking hotel for almost, 8 hours now at this point? What, are you trying to turn me on or something with that hair of yours? Put the damn hair up and sit down like a man and talk to me. Christ. All right, what was I saying? Who cares? Who even cares, really? As long as your hair looks good on camera, that's all that matters.
Okay, well, I mean, someone said in the chat, like,
yeah, you go to jail, you won't be worried about how good that hair looks. Trust me. We want to put you in jail.
Oh no,
Don't
yeah.
be doing that at jail, man. Flipping your hair all around, trying to make it look good for all the other inmates. It's not going to go well.
No,
cut it off now. Cut it off now. I got news for you. Just cut it off now.
I mean, I've been already, and the time I went, it was like for 4 days, and it was definitely an experience. It's crazy.
Bro, you got no drug and alcohol habits. If you don't have anxiety and depression and you don't have drug and alcohol habits, jail ain't shit. It's just boring, right? Jail becomes a problem when you got enemies and you're a piece of shit and you're on drugs and alcohol and you're in debt, or you have a goofy family who can't make it without your inauthentic corporate ass providing. If you ain't got any of that, you ain't got drugs and alcohol to come off of, you don't have any issues in the streets, majority of the time you're going to go sit with a bunch of other people who have misdemeanor infractions. Just boring, if nothing else. And then you learn how to do time in life, right? How to keep your mind occupied, how to keep yourself focused, how to create a process day by day. If anything, you learn how to manage your time, energy, and attention. You become better if you go to jail. As long as you're not there for a long time and getting involved in the politics, right? Now they're going to say, oh, he's telling Virgil and the young people go to jail. It's like college. You come out better. You could become better in any fucking thing that you do if you're self-observant and self-aware and you practice and discipline yourself. It just happens to be that most people don't do that in the outer world. They got too many distractions and addictions. You go to jail, it's easier. It's a lot easier to start leveling up as a being because you got nothing else to do. So you're going to be reading, exercising, fasting, praying, co-creating with others about how to get out of your case or how to figure out the law, so you could practice it a different way next time. Again, the people on the street used to call college jail, or jail college rather. That was the kind of the term, oh, I went to college. Kind of like street vernacular, so I had to go do some time. Figure out who and what I am, what it means to be a man, have a daily process. And not get in your own way. Boredom will take a motherfucker down. Idle hands will take somebody down. Being around the wrong people and letting them influence your daily process will take you down. So there's a lot to learn by being at jail if you let it be. But that's anything in life. If you're a student of yourself, right? If you study yourself and you're a student of life. You got anything else you want me to get back to it?
Yeah, you continue.
Back to it. All right, let's see where we're going.
Type of government agency, whether you believe in that agency or not. Is that what you were referring
Yes,
to?
as I'm referring to as the Social Security.
In common vernacular terms, we would describe it as a driver license. I know you may not like the term, but is that what you were talking about with the straw man name? Or a different document?
Well, it's yes, a different document, but it's the same name.
Okay.
It's the same name.
The other documents. Can we see that?
Okay, well, I don't really want to show you any documents, but would it be horrible if I could just provide you with the name then? No?
You have to see something, picture, something that's been issued by the state of Colorado or another state here in the U.S.
So you need to see the card.
I need to see a card.
If you can tell me what your name is, straw name, regular name, don't care. It could be a carrot name, whatever the name is, and you can tell me what state has verified that identity, I'm good with that. I can work with that. But you need to tell me what state I can pull a driver license photo from.
All right, y'all. So I'm being coerced to do this. He's ready to take me out of the vehicle, so I'm gonna do this because I don't want this to escalate. Oh yeah, I'm going for my wallet. Okay, I'm sorry. No, yeah, keep in mind this ID is expired. Okay, so I'm only willing to show him this contract that I no longer am currently in because I am standing up for my rights. So let me go ahead and find it right here. Where's my ID? It's right here. Okay, I got it right here. Hold on, officers. So right here is the quote-unquote ID. So I'm not willing to give them anything else except this, just so they can quote-unquote. I'm just gonna give you this, just so you can check my background, because that's what y'all care about so much, to make sure I have no criminal history or anything like that, right? Can I just show it to you like this? Because I don't want to hand you the card.
You can hold it up against the window. Hold on a second. Just cleaning your window because it's very dirty. Hold it up over here for a second.
So it doesn't.
You have window tint and I can't see it. Thank you. And you refuse to provide the other information, correct?
I'm not required to, officer.
Okay, again, we're not playing the wordsmith game. Are you refusing to give it to me? It's a yes or no on that one. This is your last opportunity. You can provide me with some type of registration and insurance, or you cannot. Depends on what you decide to do.
Okay.
If you don't want to, that's fine.
I don't want to.
Okay.
I don't want to.
There's just going to be added charges on it, okay?
Officer, I want to ask you, have you dealt with any other people that tried to stand up for their rights like this before? Yeah? Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty sure you've came across people who can articulate themselves and have more of a greater understanding than me. Correct?
Well, they are articulate, but in the end, it doesn't matter. Your argument, like I say, the state of Colorado owns this property. And by driving in the state of Colorado, by living in the state of Colorado, the state of Colorado says that you have given up
your rights for benefits and privileges.
Well, unless you provide these things, these items. You can drive on these roads if you have driver's license, registration, proof, insurance. That's what the state of Colorado has decided. The Constitution of Colorado, the state of Colorado, has decided. That's what we enforce. Okay? We didn't decide this. And so long as you're on these streets, this is owned by the state of Colorado.
Okay, so
okay, that property there is not. Now there are some laws that even if you owned that property, that we can't walk on without a reason.
Now, did you really think when it was up to God that created us, that God wanted other men telling other men that they cannot harvest rainwater? It's the same thing. No, this applies to this applies to the road, quote unquote roadways, because of God's unalienable right is the ability of life, liberty, and pursue happiness. A man to be willing, able to travel, go wherever he's, as long as he's not creating any loss, injury, or harm.
Happiness does not require you to drive. You can walk and pursue that happiness.
Okay, so now what if I had a horse? What if I had a horse and I decided to walk my horse on the road?
There are requirements.
Now there's requirements, which means I have to get a license to ride a horse.
No, you just can't walk or ride a horse on the roadway.
You can't? So you own it? So
that's what I'm trying to. We don't run into that. I don't know. I've never run into anybody riding a horse down the road.
Wait, so you're letting me know that what was founded upon, which is America, us being able to have privacy and stand up for our rights back then. So now, not a single man can now ride on their horse to where they're trying to go there.
No, that's what we don't know if it's legal to ride a horse down the roadway. I've never dealt in 25 years being a cop. I've never dealt with that, not once.
Now that's very understanding, because now there's a lot of people that don't know their rights. So it's very, very, normal to say that you're not open to those, or you haven't had those kind of experiences, because majority of everyone, they fall in and they give up and they usurp their rights for benefits and privileges. Okay, there's very few of us that are willing to go out of the fear that we have into a courage state of faith and be able to do what's right no matter what and surrender the rest. I'm willing to get locked up in the box. I'm willing for you to take, I'm willing if it causes me to stand on my rights. But I'm trying to demonstrate to y'all that I'm not going to be like anyone else that's just going to follow what you say just because you're a big man and you have a gun and they're afraid of it and we're afraid of you. Majority of everyone.
You to follow these rules is because they're in the Constitution of the state of Colorado. You say you want to follow the Constitution. I'm asking you to follow the Constitution. Not because I'm larger, I have a gun, I have whatever. I'm asking you to follow the Constitution because you're in the state of Colorado and the state of Colorado requires it. Not me, the state does. Okay?
Well, I'm
requiring what the state requires.
Well, I'm just letting you know. Here's an example. If a man had his property away from the city, he had it under trust, foreign trust. He had his property as well as this under foreign trust, and he decided to come over here into the city, and his rights were infringed upon, regardless if he decides to take it to court or not. At the end of the day, the police officers were in the wrong. While they thought they were doing what was right, which is following statute, policy, and code, it went against what was real, which is lawful, which is actual, quote unquote, a foundation, principles we all know. If you don't create any loss, injury, or harm, or people, places, and things, or property, I have no reason to be infringed on, as long as I'm not infringing in other people's rights or their property or messing with them.
Or harm every person. The reason why we require registration and driver's licenses and stuff like that for you to drive on this roadway or any roadway in the state of Colorado, every car that drives on this creates harm to the roadway. It's got to be paid for somehow.
Okay, and that's paid by our tax already.
And your registration and insurance.
Not the registration, it's the tax alone.
All of that
from
money, taxes and those registration fees or taxes, whatever you want to call it, pays for this.
And then when a human being when a human being gave up their rights for privileges and gave in to your jurisdiction, they have to follow everything and anything you say, because as you are,
that the state of Colorado says,
and you're going ahead and applying it and enforcing it.
That's our job.
That I understand. So it's a mix
time out. I just got a quick question.
Right. This is where they just try to abdicate all responsibility and liability. It's our job. No, you took an oath to the Constitution, so it applies to you. And the only way you get out is with that amendment that you all like to use, states' rights and public welfare. You have officer discretion just like someone in the military. You can't be in the military like the Nazis and do war crimes and say, it was just our job to follow orders. That's our job. These people could write down whatever they want and interpret it however they like, and they can put it before you all. If you're all too dumb and too non-caring to check out whatever it is and try to figure out how it all works, you're derelict in your duty and obligation as a man, first and foremost. You can't just go around in life and go, my training, my orders, my code. My job is to do whatever I'm told to do. You're a man first. You have discretion. If you're given unlawful orders, not legal and illegal, unlawful orders, like, depriving people of their rights on the side of the road to enforce policy. Yeah, unlawful. Don't care if it's legal or illegal. At one point, it was legal to own a person as a slave on some states. My state of Texas says I can own slaves. Right, but it's unlawful. You can't take another person as property. I don't give a fuck if it's legal or illegal, whatever you all wrote down. If you engage in it and it's wrong and unlawful, then you bear the accountability and the liability. And they don't want any of that as men under God. Because you know why? As soon as you said God, even though it's in him, that's why he starts shaking his head and hands, because the gene is in him. He knows there's something there. He just doesn't want to talk about it. Because in these people's mind, God isn't real, doesn't exist. It's just a concept to describe some experience that they may or may not have had. So when you bring up God, it puts them on edge, but at the same time, they're not going to talk about it because it's not real to them. What is real is the state of corporation, their paycheck, their family, their bullshit political structure, and the TV. That's what's real. So they're going to keep following that to their bitter end, and they don't have an ability to co-create with any kind of spiritual essence. They don't have any ability to comprehend the difference between legal and lawful, and they don't have any care to. Presuming they did have the ability to comprehend, they don't care to. It's just a lot easier to just keep doing what you've always done, cashing a check and waiting to retire and hoping you can die with some chips left.
Do you want to provide a phone number for the courts as contact? I'm pretty sure I know what the answer is going to be, but is that one? Okay. Just check. It had offer to you.
No, so I as long as he asks, I'm not out here trying to be an asshole to y'all. I just
And you're not.
You're
trying to explain our side and not my side as Sergeant Conner. Not the side of the city of Colorado Springs or the Colorado Springs Police Department. This was decided by the state of Colorado. We are in the state of Colorado. We have to abide by those laws, those rules by the state or issued by the state of Colorado in our Constitution. We have to abide by those. That's what we are doing.
Yeah,
none of this is personal.
Okay, yeah, and I understand it's all business. It's all business. The way y'all make your money.
So this guy down there is like obsessed with the supremacy clause, right? And all it really amounts to is checks and balances. Everybody's, first of all, you're going to get into this supremacy clause thing and try to tell me U.S. code or federal code is supreme to anything else. It's not, right? Because unless I misunderstand the supremacy clause, again, I'm not a legal beagle. I'm more of a common sense person. So you know what makes sense to me? Every fucking tier of the government, what you call government, which is now defined as a corporation and all crimes are commercial, presuming that as a government, every layer of the government is supposed to check itself and each other based on what's true, what's right, and what's lawful. How could you say that the feds are supreme over everything else? So if the feds write up a law, as if you could write up a law, they write up policy that says you can't have reefer on the state of Colorado because it's federally illegal. That's supreme? No. The idea is foundationally that all laws or policies and codes codified have to be pursuant to the original foundational idea that the Constitution was drafted upon, which is all beings created equal, all beings with the right to pursue their happiness, life, liberty, you know the rest. You know the thing. I'm going to do a Biden. You know the thing. You know, security of the person, freedom of speech, right to bear arms, property, papers, and effects. The whole deal. So that was the original idea. It was common fucking sense. It wasn't anything mysterious and mystical. Pretty much people wanted to just be able to do whatever the fuck they wanted to do and not be harassed by authoritarians. So yeah, essentially the federal law is supreme if it is pursuant to the Constitution, which many of them are not. Hello, bump stocks. You know, all the other nonsense they got written in there that makes everybody a federal felon if they got a gun that's 15 and a half inches. You know, it's 18 inches, it's 14, it's this, it's that, 10 years, 20 years. Bullshit. You have a right to have everything that they can have. If you can make it, I can own it. Simple. Unless you believe I'm going to do harm with it. You got reason to believe I'm about to commit a crime with it? No, then I can have whatever the fuck I want. Bazookas, flamethrowers, planes, whatever the fuck I want. Unless you believe that government and corporations somehow get more rights and abilities than the men and women they serve, which I don't know how that happened, unless they took ours and are now acting as the men and women of the people, and we're now servants of them. You know, again, a lot of this is just common sense. If you live on a free country, how could the servants have more rights and abilities than the men and women they serve? They couldn't, unless it was a fascist, tyrannical state. Oh, wait, that's what we're dealing with. So, yeah, it's called checks and balances. You may remember that in middle school sometime if they taught you any civics at all, because now they don't teach any of it purposely. So you never really know what's going on. You just keep yelling out, it's a democracy, vote for daddy. It's all bullshit. It's all obfuscation. It's all conflation at this point. And it's nonsense. And it's bad for you. Right? So everybody, just like in life, everybody checks themselves and everybody else on what's true and what's right. Nobody's above the program and process. So if the local municipal folks are doing unlawful behavior, they get checked by the state. If the state's doing it, they get checked by the locals. If the locals in the states are doing it, they get checked by the feds. If the feds are doing it, they get checked by the state and locals. Everybody's supposed to check everybody based on what's true and what's right, pursuant to the philosophy of this land, which is not being done anymore. Everybody's doing corruption. Everybody's doing fascist authoritarianism, policy and code for profit and revenue. They don't give a fuck about what the law even was supposed to be. They don't even understand the law is a philosophical idea of what is within you. That's what the law is the connection to God and conscience and to know the next right thing. And that when that's not done, there has to be some kind of remedy, relief, or compensation. Or forgiveness, right? Reconciliation. If I didn't say that. So, yeah, we're so far down the line, man. It's so pathetic. You got grown men thinking other men can write down laws. You know, all you're writing down is some kind of policy or some kind of custom, and it applies to maybe you or others, but there's other people out there who have their own experience with that creative force, and their conscience tells them right from wrong. They don't need other men and women to write down what to do next. Matter of fact, if they do have other men and women writing down what to do next, it's usually taken as an affront. You're trying to oppress, repress, and depress me. You know, that was the idea of religious freedom. We went over it yesterday. The beings on this land at these courts are supposed to have a religious freedom to choose in pretty much all situations. It's why the Native Americans can snort hape and smoke peyote and do whatever the fuck they want. Your white ass goes to do it, they're going to put you in prison for felonies. They can do it apparently because they're tribal people. They're on the land. They have their own society separate from the legal society. So you may want to figure out how to create your own society or opting out of the legal society so that on paper and with the courts, you have your status and standing in jurisdiction. They cannot tell you what to do with your religious rights and freedom. You know, if God talks to everybody, no one else can tell me what to do because I got my own relationship with that being. You can call me crazy, but you can't call me your slave. But this is how far down the line we are, where even a concept like God and God talking to you makes you non-compos mentis, right? They want to do psyche evals. What? You believe in God? You say there's a spirit or something that leads, guides, protects you, and reveals? yeah, get this guy a psych eval. We're the devil's children. We don't think God exists. We think the only thing that exists is whatever we can see here, whatever's written down. You know, so it's no wonder we're where we are as a society, whatever that is, when you have godless, faithless, heartless cowards who are ignorant, making judgments on everyone else. Shaunosaurus, how are you, sir? Are you audible at this point?
What? Can't even fix the mic.
All right, man, get it together. Let's finish this up.
And the way y'all get your percentages is by marking people up if they're doing something wrong. It's all business. Now, if you're telling me that if I don't want to engage in that business and I demonstrated that I'm not required to, then y'all have to
engage in that business, then you cannot drive on the state of Colorado.
No. Now that's where there's a divide of understanding.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Can I have your name and badge number 2, officer?
5276. I'll give you my
5276. Okay, yes, please.
Okay, last thing, one of no registration.
Yeah.
One of the charges is going to be not having a valid registration on your car. Okay. One of the ways that we prove that is the license plates that you have on your car are not valid.
Okay. Well, I don't understand the charges that y'all are bringing against me because I don't understand all the legalese and the words and the terms as far as it goes to the court.
I just want to tell you that as part of the evidence process for those charges, we're taking your license plates.
Oh, so you're gonna take the plates?
Yep,
So you're gonna
they're
confiscate
going in
my
as
property?
evidence. If when you go to court, if you decide you're going to go to court, have to go to court. It's a required mandatory court date. When you go there, talk to the judge. If he says you get them back, you get them back. But until that time, they're going to go into evidence. Okay?
Because it's your vehicle, sir, we'll give you the opportunity if you would like to remove them. Otherwise, you use a screwdriver and just take it off.
I would like to remove them.
That would require you to get out of the
Yeah, that would require me to get out the car, and I don't want to do that. So I'll let y'all go ahead and do what y'all need to do.
You want a bigger? I got a bigger screwdriver.
Here's my card.
Okay, appreciate that. Sir, and can I have your name and badge number 2, please? Your business card, should I say?
Information will be on the ticket, and I'll get your card as well. Hold on 1 second, we'll get your card. Here's your screws back, the license plate. You got them?
Yeah.
There you go.
Here goes my plates right there. Thank you. Thank you.
Sir. So in your copy of the citation today, we have your information up the top, followed by the vehicle. The court date is going to be November 9th, 8 a.m. at the County Courthouse, 270 South Tejon Street, downtown Tejon, Vermillo. A couple charges on here we'll go over, okay? So fictitious license plate for displaying a not valid license plate. Operating an unregistered vehicle. Operating without insurance.
Okay, and I just want to clarify, making sure that I do not understand any of these charges being charged against me. I don't.
Okay, we'll get to that in a second. So let me get through it. Driving without your seatbelt on. Obstructed, driver vision obstructed through required glass. All the cracks in your windshield do create a certain level of glare, make it hard for you to see the traffic ahead of you and pedestrians that may be crossing the roadway. And drove vehicle without your valid driver's license because your license is not valid. Okay. Do you have any questions on the charges? Within reason, please.
The only thing is I don't understand any of the charges being against me.
Okay. Do you need me to re-explain anything?
I don't need you to explain anything. Okay. That's it.
Good, thank you. So it's mandatory court appearance, meaning that you do have to appear for your court date. If you fail to show up, you forget, it may turn into a warrant for you, at which point you can go to jail. If you can't make it to your court date for whatever reason, court's information is going to be down in this section here. There's their phone number. Get the court's call ahead of time. Just work something out with the court system. Okay.
You should have told him no hablo.
Do you have any questions?
I'm not going to touch you, officer.
Yo no sabe.
Regardless of whether you pick
Any
that
other
up,
questions?
No questions.
you're you're still required, whether that flies away or not, you're still required to be in court.
Okay,
You're not allowed to drive the vehicle either.
Okay, so if I decide to go
You can
back
park it right
home,
here.
if I decide to go back home, I can't do that?
If I see you
What did he do? Put that paperwork on your car?
Yeah, he put it on my windshield.
But that's the point, bro. Like, I get it. You know, you did a great job, man. I mean, compared to all the rest of these punk ass bitches that won't even try none of it, let alone having to talk your way through it. And you're a pretty young guy. You know, I don't think you've had too much experience with a lot of this shit. But it becomes, why are you putting that paperwork on my on the property, right? Are you littering? Like, what's your deal? I don't want that. You know, you don't want to receive any of that. They're going to claim they did service and put it on your window and you went and received it and took it off. I tell them, bro, if you put that on the car, I'm going to drive away. Excuse me. I'm going to travel my ass away. And if that paperwork flies off the window, you littered, right? I don't want that. I'm not taking it. Don't put it on my property. You want to write it up and play games and put it in your own back pocket? Great. But I don't want it on my property, and I'm not going to retrieve it off of there and then claim that you served me with whatever that nonsense is, right? As far as I'm concerned, he's littering. You know, he's tearing up pieces of paper, writing shit on them, some kind of bizarre belief that he has, and he's going to put it all over. You know, he's soliciting, posting bills. I don't know what they're up to. But, yeah, I mean, just kind of where I stand with it. You know?
I'm going to drop some more tickets on you.
And if that continues at one point or another, if this continues, the vehicle will be towed.
You are free to park the car and walk, travel along the roadway with your legs. But at this point, you don't have a valid driver license, you don't have a registered vehicle, and you don't have any proof of insurance. I'm not going to tell you can go drive this car on the roadway and harm somebody.
Well, I don't harm nobody. That's why I have no criminal activity or criminal history.
Fine. We're not going to create the possibility for that by allowing you to do that because it's against Colorado law.
Well, you're not, because I'm conscious and aware and present, and I know how to drive. I know how to travel correctly.
Drive off right now. I'm just going to submit paperwork and drop more tickets on you. Okay?
So are y'all going to be, how long are y'all going to be waiting here?
A little while. I got paperwork to do.
Okay.
Do you have any other questions for me?
No questions. Fucking pigs, bro. Can't believe I finally had a law enforcement encounter. Okay, they're still back there chatting right now. It's approximately been like 20-30 minutes since they pulled me over. You know, they assigned me the ticket right there. I didn't want to touch it. I told them I don't have an understanding of the charges. You know, they said that I cannot take off in my private property. So if they see me in this vehicle again, they're gonna give me more charges and could result in them towing my property. So right now I'm gonna wait until they leave. I'm probably gonna walk away a little bit, wait until they're gone for sure, and then come back to get my property.
Yeah, so I mean, in a way, indirectly, right? Once you start playing that game with him, you're kind of admitting you think you're doing wrong. Because I go, I don't know what any of this is. You give me this paperwork. Great, I don't want it, and I'm leaving now. Bye. They watch me pull off. I mean, if you're sitting there waiting for them to leave before you move, you're admitting indirectly you believe you're doing wrong. If you don't think you're doing wrong, you just pull right off. And hey, well, I don't, you know, whatever you say, you say. You know, if you see me again and you want to do something, we'll go ahead and do it. You know, and this is kind of where it becomes. You got to figure out how much of this you want to be doing and want to be engaging in, because it's always going to be like this game to them.
Well, the thing is,
I see you. We're gonna go ahead.
I mean, I agree with you. I didn't even think about that, because I actually thought about, if I take off right now, they're gonna just stop me again, and then.
No,
like,
bro. I mean, come on. So what? You think if you pull up, they're gonna? Hey, that was you there. We know it was. We just seen you move up again. You're getting 2 of these now. How many more do you want? Move it again. We'll give you 3. Like, what game are we playing here? You gave me the damn summons for the day and whatever else. It's almost like a free pass, right? To do whatever you want for the rest of the 24 hours. Because if they stop, you go, hey, bro, we just did this back there. I already got a court appearance date. What's your problem? You know, it's official.
You're right.
No, I don't think that if you moved it, they were going to stop you and give you 2 more.
You're right, but I mean, now that I think about it, it's a good thing I didn't get out because they drove off like literally shortly after 3 minutes, and I was still in my car, and so then I actually it was like a walking distance where my uncle was at, where I was going to go in the first place before they stopped me. So I just literally picked up the tools, brought them back to the car, and left. I didn't see no police officer, but they left when I was still in the car, and I'm pretty sure if they really were like speculative, I'm pretty sure they would have checked again to see if I was there or not. But I was gone. I wasn't there.
These guys said they're going to cover the whole window with papers. What? Come on, Penal Power. Really? You got me feeding back now? I can't even hear you. Nightmare. He's trying to get me to do what his father did. I know it. He's trying to get me to fucking end it all. He's gonna get it one day. Look, he's popped. He's got the head popped off. Bro, come on, man. Fuck. Tell me you got an open fucking tab of YouTube. I'm gonna come over there. Get out. You know what? Just get out. All right, go. Make it so hard to love you. It's so difficult. Scotty, don't. You make it so difficult. You don't want to do anything evil like your dad. You don't want to take over.
Paul, I reached like a certain level of understanding. Like when I told you I ended up posting like bits and clips of the video on TikTok, I get what you mean when you say you're actually like speculative when you come across certain people and the way they comment, like if they're actual agents. Like there was an account called John Doe, you know, like that reference fictitious name that usually you see on all the documentations and the, you know, like as a filler word, and then like straight destroying or straight trying to destroy me, or and then trying to go at everyone in the comment section. And I was like, damn, like I don't really think someone that's a person that's trying to find truth is gonna really go to that level of trying to bash someone that where they think it's wrong.
They don't want to find truth. They want to protect their beliefs, whether they're right or wrong, and they see you as a threat to that. You know, they see you and I and people who do this as a threat to their belief system, which they want to defend to the death. So you become a soft sit. You become all the reasons why we have a problem in this society. What if you hit somebody and this and that? You should be in jail, because they have to defend and protect their belief system. The alternative is questioning, right? Why are they doing this? What's their motive? What is their impetus, right? What implication were they given that any of this was true and correct? They don't want to understand. They don't want to know why we're doing it. They don't want to even understand the foundational law of this land. Again, I haven't had any one of these legal people give me a more compelling argument for how this system all works than what I've told them. Right? I haven't heard it. You know, they all have this sort of obtuse idea about what this country is, what the government is, what banking is, how it all works, how it all fits together, what's the role and the function and all of it. When I break it down and I look at it and I explain it, it makes more sense listening back to me than anything that they've told me. You know, I mean, I had a guy on the radio today saying, it's a republic. I mean, representative democracy. What does that even mean? You're telling me I don't have any other option than to choose someone to represent me in a corporate structure and tell me how I'm going to live and not? I don't have any other option. Doesn't make any sense to me. Right. So I just don't believe that was the original intent of the founders, under the clause of pursuit of happiness. I don't think pursuit of happiness meant vote for somebody to tell you what you can or can't do and then be happy with that. Doesn't seem right to me. So they've conflated the idea of republic, of the people, by the people, for the people, with a representative government of servants who are there to uphold the law and uphold rights and to do civil service for the public. That obviously is not the case anymore. And most people think that's the way it's supposed to be. No, these aren't servants. These are your authorities. Right? They're there to have authority over you. They're going to tell you what to do and how to live. Those are our representatives. Thanks. Great. And I have to pay for this too? Yep. Yeah, you got to pay in order to be forced into choosing who's going to create the best idea of happiness that you're going to settle for. What an amazing concept. Instead of all of us just having freedom and free choice. I don't think it's working. So I had the falsely empowered codependent back there. We never got to it yesterday. That was the whole broadcast was supposed to be about, and we never even got to the damn clip. But I think that was pretty much it on your video. So I'm going to close that out. I think I'm going to call it, man. We're coming up on 10 o'clock. I got a late start today because a whole bunch of shit happened in between traveling. So I had to push it back a couple hours. I think that we call it. I'll come back tomorrow. We'll hit some more of that psychology, the falsely empowered codependent. We'll analyze that, talk about it. I'll do the breaking news, and we'll see where it goes. I'm sure Brian O'Shea and the other miscreants will be up and about earlier in the day. So, great broadcast lately, right? You know what the common denominator is? I'm here doing my broadcast, and all the loser failures I put up with for a year and a half are gone now in their hovel, in their hole. The troglodyte cave dwellers are in their hole together, complaining, bitching, cycling in confusion, and trying to figure out what they're all going to do next once they've come together. Good luck. I wouldn't want to be any of you. So, thank you, Kelly and others, for noticing how amazing the broadcast has been when it's polycentric, right? When it's a polycentric uniball inverse, everything seems to go well. There's a good energy. There's a good flow. We're bright-eyed. We're bushy-tailed. We're jovial. We're jocular. There's a lot of adjectives that describe us here. The us, we, the royal we, meaning me. And you were part of this today, Virgil, in your own way. Part of making officially the best broadcast ever in history. You know, everyone that we do becomes the best broadcast ever in history. So it's hard to avoid that title. Go ahead, give me some final words. I'm going to close it out. And then I'm going to ravage Jennifer in her old age. I'm going to beat up her old buddy.
All right, I just want to say I appreciate it so much for everyone and everyone watching. Paul, thank you for giving me the opportunity to present, my experience and what happened with me, and for everyone else that's able to provide knowledge, wisdom, how do you say? I don't want to say empathy, but like support. Thank you for that. I appreciate all of y'all. I see y'all in the comment section. Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, the broadcasts are they've been lit ever since you cut off the lowly peasants. They've getting better and better. It's
Right.
only
I
right.
told you for a year and a half, I didn't need them. They were in my way. They all thought I needed them to do a broadcast. I don't need them. Right. Matter of fact, it gets better when they leave. So, I had to do that. I didn't want to do that. But sometimes you just you get to that point, you hit the wall, and you just got to know who to kind of leave behind. Leave them in their own lane, let them fail or succeed on their own. Don't keep trying to pull them along with you. You can't take the hood with you, Virgil. 50 told us that, right? In his audiobook. Sometimes you got to leave the lazy loser failures where they at to succeed or fail on their own. Can't bring them on the tour bus. They'll be causing fights. They'll be trying to steal merchandise. They're doing dope in the bathroom. It just doesn't work. We're on a moving train here. So We need a certain kind of dignity, a certain kind of ethic, a certain kind of energy. Now, of course, Pineal Power didn't bring any of that to this panel, but what else is new? Right? He set the standard so fucking low for himself that I don't expect anything at this point. The fact that he's even alive and here, it's like, wow. You know, remember what they said yesterday, Jennifer? They said, Jack, we're so proud of you. You left the house. She fucking doubled over laughing. She goes, this is the level it's at where a bunch of grown men are around Jack saying he did a great job. They really respect him because he left the house. I don't know what to say anymore. What was the other one? It was one guy left the house, and then one of them had another achievement too. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. We were laughing because she goes, so this is the level of achievement. One guy left the house and one guy talked to a girl, you know, and they were all like trading respect over there, like they were in middle school. It's like a middle school depression meeting, right? It's like everyone meeting at the counselor's office for depression. And they're like, what'd you do? I talked to a girl. What'd you do? I left the house twice this month. Man, I really respect that. Holy shit. You did that twice this month, huh? Yep. It's really the most pathetic conversation I've ever seen and heard over there. Bunch of grown men lying to Jack Talcott to make him feel better about himself while he's caught up in his own ego thinking he's doing great. So good job. Keep that up. Keep his ego high. Keep bullshitting yourselves and everyone else and make sure your credibility's real low. And I'm going to do really good here. Everyone's doing exactly what they need to do for everything to work perfectly. So it's good to see that. Good to see. All right, give me the damn final word, Virgil. I'm out of here. You're lucky they didn't beat you, rape you, tase you, spray you, put you in a box with a whole bunch of big African Americans to pull your ponytail. You got away with murder this time. Be happy. Be lucky. Pray to God. Whatever God you believe in. Ganesha, Krishna, Buddha, Allah, whatever. Say your prayers. Thank that being. And move forward in faith and truth as you perceive it. Don't do what I necessarily do. Do what is apparent to you, what's true and what's right. Surrender the rest and see what comes of it, man. You know, if you go to jail, you'll get through it. You'll be better for it if you let it be. That's how I see life at this point, man. We decide what's going to make us better and what's going to take us down. It's about perspective.
Yeah, I agree. I just want to say thank you again for everything. Appreciate the panel, the audience. Thank you. And Paul, I don't know if you actually did go live that day, but I did notice that day where you uploaded a premiere
I gotta stop
video.
you for a second. This bozo loser failure down there thinks that this is my room. A, it's not. It's a hotel. B, he thinks that if this was my room, that I'd put posters on the wall. We're out of middle school, Junior. So, you know, I don't need any posters on my wall. Go ahead, Virgil. I didn't mean to interrupt you. The loser failures are cycling in. It must be creating alternates now. Big mouth on this guy. Yep. Something new, huh? He just figured out. Big mouth on me. You want to kiss me, don't you? Mike Tyson told that guy. You want to kiss me, don't you? I'll make you my girlfriend. He likes my big lips. Go ahead. Go ahead, Virgil. Give me the damn final word, please. Let's escape before it gets any darker out. And the werewolves, the Lugaroo werewolves will come out of the woodwork, right?
All right. Yeah, like I said, amazing broadcast. The broadcast been the best. I will continue to always demonstrate my support and my love for the broadcast, you know, and however way and regard that is. And we're on an upward trajectory. Much love. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Virgil Creature. Sean, do you got anything other than death skulls? Shave that beard, you have no chin. Okay. Why don't you just get some kind of fucking life for yourself? You don't need to be this pathetic. I'm worried about my chin. Oh, man. All right, Penile Power, please get the fuck out of here. I can't hear you. I can barely see you. I don't know what's going on. I don't want to be here with these pathetic children online anymore. Not you, Moa Onions and the rest, right? Very telling, too, by the way. Chimpanzee picture. He knows what he is. He knows that he's a walking chimpanzee in jeans. That's the extent of his consciousness. Hey, Paul, shave your beard. You have no chin. They want me to do stand-up too, right? So I can deal with this in the crowd. Shave your beard. You have no chin. I got up. Now I'm in the crowd like this. What? Who said that? Make me come out there. Go ahead, Peanut Power. Please give me some hand signs. Give me some fucking braille, smoke signals, anything, and please get out. I don't know what that is. Is that you or Britney Spears before she dyed her hair blonde? I can't tell. Is that an old picture of you or an old picture of Britney? Don't know. Really don't even want to know. I'm going to ask you to leave now. Okay? I'm going to ask you nicely to please leave. Thank you. Oh yeah, there's that's my room. That's my area, right? I got no posters on the wall, but I got this fucking orange wall right here with a bar action. See that? See that? There's a separation there, so I can actually reach through there. Somebody can hand me food. Let's say I'm laying in the bed. Someone can be on this side and hand me food into the bed. So that's an amazing aperture. Okay. I'm going to let you all go now. Please get back to whatever it is you're doing. I'm sure there's a TBE, Truth or Cop, EBT panel somewhere of late night involuntary celibate miscreants that you can go hang around and chatter away. I'll be leaving now. I'll be back tomorrow, as I said earlier. Thank you to the contributors and supporters. You are angels and blessings in this realm to allow me to do what I do. I mean, I'm living a life of Riley at this point. I'm living a dream. Who'd have ever thought it? Regrets, I had a few, but then again, too few to mention. And after all, I made the call. I don't know the next part, but I did it my way. All right. You got your song. You got your finale. Lou Bass is down there. Another amazing encounter. Yes, the pink white gorilla in its habitat, in its mobile habitat. All right, Lou Bass, good to see you, brother. I emailed you. I told you that I loved you, even though you're a fat pig, fat Canadian grease pig. I still appreciate you. Should regret not eating salad, fat face. Thank you, sir. Anything else? Okay. I'm out of here. I'm surrendering. You got me, Mo Onions and the rest. I'm a fat, disgusting pig. I don't eat enough salad. You got me. You know what? You got me. You got me to hate myself again. I think I'm going to go back on heroin. I'm not showing up tomorrow. I'm going back on heroin. I hate myself. I'm fat and disgusting. You got it. You got what you wanted. Are you happy now? All right, great. Thank you, brothers and sisters. Official Talcottian sign off once and forever for comedic purposes because Jack Talcott is insane, but we love him anyway. Thank you, brothers and sisters. Much love. Bye.